Welcome to Q&A practice. Let's start out with the plaintiff attorney. Ready? Here we go. Defense counsel asked you, Mr. Mills asked you if Detective Blake and I alerted you or told you, and this is the first time you said it, about the sergeant saying he was going to arrest you. Did you tell Detective Blake that in the past? Yes. Do you recall what you said to the detective in the past regarding that sergeant? No. Would it refresh your memory if I showed you a report that Detective Blake wrote on 5/28 of 2011? Yes. That refresh your memory what you said to the detective in June of 2011 regarding that sergeant? Yes, sir. Okay, what did you tell the detective in 2011? That there was a sergeant at my residence that also said I was going to jail. All right. When defense counsel asked you regarding whether it was the first time you brought up this officer that took you into the bathroom, do you remember bringing that also up to the detective in 2011? Yes. Okay, I think. And prior to even getting to that question, do you remember describing to the detective what the sergeant looked like that threatened you to go to jail? I hate to say the word vaguely, but I remember some sort of conversation about it. I don't remember exactly. Okay, would it refresh your memory if I showed you a report generated by Detective Blake in 2011? Yes. I'll object as to foundation. Overruled. Do you remember now what you said to the detective in 2011 regarding that sergeant? Yes. What did you say? That he was an older gentleman with grayish black hair, and he could possibly be Hispanic. Now, my next question was, do you recall whether or not you discussed with the detective about being taken into the bathroom in June of 2011? I don't remember. Okay. Well, do you recall telling the detective that you remember that? I remember talking about it. Okay. Yes. Do you remember telling the detective that there was a time during the search when she had been brought into the bathroom, spoken to, that syringes had been found, and they were asking if there would be any more syringes because they didn't want to get poked. Yes, I remember. That's what I stated. Okay, let's take just a little break. Rest our fingers for a second. All right. Syringes. That's a good word. That's a good word to practice. Maybe a little challenging. Syringes. All right. Let's carry on. Ready? Here we go. Is that what we talked about earlier today? Yes, that is exactly. Ms. Sutton, what did you think could happen to you if you didn't sit down in that chair that when the officers told you to? That I was going to jail for a long time. What did you think would happen to you if you didn't go into the restroom and talk to that officer when he asked you to go to the restroom and talk to him? That I would definitely go to jail, prison. When you said that George Larson, former officer, when he told you that you needed to cooperate, what did you think might happen if you didn't cooperate? I was going to go to jail for a long time. What did you think might happen to you when George Larson, former officer, picked up a piece of lingerie and asked you, "Is this yours?" That I was going to go to jail for sure. What about when the officer came back, when the defendant came back and told you to go into your room or follow me into the room or whatever he said? What did you think might happen to you if you didn't go into your room with the officer wearing his badge and police uniform? I thought not only would I not go to jail, that I was risking my future freedom. I thought he could plant drugs. He could do anything to me. He has authority, and I'm just a nothing. And about meth, did you suffer from paranoia or anything like that to your knowledge? No. As a matter of fact, I was diagnosed when I was in my rehab treatment center by a psychologist. Okay. And no, I'm fine. All right. Did you, when the officer came back, knocked on the door, and you see George Larson there, did you suffer from some type of paranoia that this was maybe Larry Wilson, your boyfriend? No, no. Did you think maybe he was some kind of animal or something like that? No, he was a police officer. All right, we will stop there. That will conclude our Q&A practice.